Welcome to KC Sports Bros, episode number 3. This is your host, Ace. To my right,
Dre. To my right,
Big Earn. To my right,
CJ Mayo.
all right, coming to y'all again with some more good content on this week. Be sure to check us out on YouTube and eventually other platforms. Please push that subscribe button. Topics that we're going to cover today, recap that Chiefs 49ers game and talk about their final roster. Breaking news about Andrew Luck, and then greatest NFL players of all time. So going into Chiefs and 49ers as we are getting closer to wrapping up preseason and finalizing rosters. We'll talk about how this game went, who's going to be there week 1. Big Earn.
the Chiefs 49ers game. You know, you kind of look at it and, you know, last year we played them and Jimmy Garoppolo went down and, you know, we beat the heck out of him. This year, you know, this is supposed to be the dress rehearsal game and got a new defense and, you know, man, this is really, really, really tough to talk about this team right now. I feel good about the offense. Not great. I feel good. The defense, we were without Matthew because he was hurt. But there's some missing pieces in this team, in my opinion. What do you think? What do you think, Trey?
I mean, what do you feel like is missing? Like where?
I feel like last year, like you could, you know, like people are actually able to prepare for Mahomes now. People are actually able to prepare for the Chiefs. You know, the Chiefs, you're not blindsided by the Chiefs. Yeah, you know, later in the season, you know, whenever 12-2, you know, you knew the Chiefs were real. But now, you know, people had a whole offseason to plan for the Chiefs. And I don't see it with the defense. Like, I just don't think they don't have that it yet.
Yeah, definitely that first quarter defense looked like crap to me. I was definitely unimpressed in that first quarter. We couldn't get off the field on third downs, a few of them. Secondary, I know Tyrann Mathieu didn't play, so that was a huge loss in that game. But the secondary did not look that good at all to me. Second quarter, I felt like they turned it around, started trying to get it together. Clark came off the end, got a sack in that second quarter. I felt like they definitely buttoned down more in that second quarter. But, yeah, first quarter, it looked like the same old Chiefs defense, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, with the new scheme and the new coach and the new players, I mean, yeah, they're going to have to gel. I would have wished we had Matthew, and I wish we were able to play the starters a little bit longer to kind of gel because, you know, defense is all about communication. Defense is all about, you know, knowing your scheme, knowing where you're supposed to be in different situations. And I just feel like at the time, like, you know, right now, third preseason game, they're not ready for week 1. I wouldn't be surprised. If it was me, if I was coaching the team, I would put them out there for this final preseason game as well.
They definitely need more time together. I mean, even on that touchdown that San Francisco scored, Reggie Ragland was guarding him. He released him thinking he had help. Nobody was there. And so
Reggie always needs help.
Just that communication factor. Like, I don't know if they just haven't had time together in this new defense or what, but he released thinking he had somebody back there, and there was nobody there, and left him wide open.
Yeah, and I think I know Thornhill was in on a lot of the.
I was unimpressed with Thornhill.
It definitely looked like a rookie.
You know, yeah. I mean, he has all the tools, though. Yeah, I mean, he's a rookie. I mean, there's not too many rookies that come in, you know, setting the world on fire. So they said he's been making a lot of plays in training camp and in practice. So you know, I'm happy that we have Matthew and Sorensen. I think he
was all over the field.
He is always in the right spot. Sometimes he can't make that play, but he's always in the right place. And I'm happy that he's going to be on the team, and I'm happy that we have him because, you know, we don't have to push Thornhill. You know, we can bring him along slowly, and you know, and once he's ready, you know, we can stick him out there and we can rely on him.
Yeah, he definitely, I think, proved that he's not going to be starting. But I think he can work his way on the field, working under Matthew and Sorensen. A lot of experience there, especially with Sorensen. He's been with the team quite a few number of years now. And then Matthew, he's been a baller since college, but I think he'll get some good tutelage there. Defense definitely needs some time to gel. I mean, completely new staff, new scheme, a lot of new players. I think we give it some time. It'll come together, but definitely second quarter they picked it up, more speed. Breland, he showed well last night. I was impressed.
I thought Breland looked good last night.
He did look good. I mean, I know Claiborne's not going to be there at the beginning of the season, but I was glad he got some reps and got some time because he's going to be sitting for a while. But I think he'll be an addition when he comes back for sure.
So, well, clearly after last night, we know that some work still need to be done, and that they're going to have to work on that communication, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And that's been said by everybody on the panel that they're going to need to gel. So who is there in the 53 to get to jail? Who's going to be the ones that are, I know we talked about in pre-production and post-production last week just about those position battles, especially on that defensive side. So who's going to be there in that last 53-man roster? Big Iron.
Yeah, I put together my final 53. Just from watching the preseason games, listening to a lot of sports talk radio. Shout out to the show. Definitely listen to that 610 middays. But yeah, starting with the defense here. You know what? Really, just trying to put this together. It's really hard to put together a 53-man roster. It really is.
You're right.
Because I think my biggest thing whenever I'm actually putting together this roster is I got to think about special teams and how important special teams is. And
very important to the Chiefs.
Like, yeah, this guy probably isn't a third or fourth wide receiver, but he's a hell of a player on special teams. I got to keep him. Even though he's the 8th best wide receiver on, any team.
Pringles of the world.
The Pringles, the Dats.
I think that's a real good point, especially when you talk about the Chiefs and their special teams history. They've had some playmakers on the special teams.
Can I touch on the offense, though,
Go
for
ahead.
a second? I mean, I know we've been defense heavy, but as far as the roster, Carlos Hyde is done. I'm sorry. He needs to go. I've seen enough. He's done. Looks like they were talking last night. Looks like Darren Thompson's going to be – he's number 2 on the depth chart as far as
Yeah.
He looks good.
He looked good last night. I was
good.
impressed. And then the other Williams brother – I call them brothers. But the other Williams brother's going to be the 3rd on the depth chart. And looks like Carlos Hyde's out of a job to me. He sucks. He looked like garbage. He's old. He's washed up. Need to move on. Darren Thompson, though, I was definitely impressed. Speed. He can cut. Got good agility. It was hitting the hole hard. I liked what I saw out of him. As far as Mahomes, he looked like Mahomes to me last night. Accuracy was on point. That touchdown, the 62-yarder, he had great touch on that pass. Caught him in stride. Williams turned on the burners. I didn't know he had that kind of speed.
He looked really, really good. Hey, I'm gonna go through my 53-man roster really quick, and then if you guys want to stop me with, maybe you feel like another person needs to be on the team, go ahead and stop me. We'll start with the quarterback, Mahomes and Henne, and I think they're gonna put Shermer on the practice squad if nobody claims him.
I agree.
You agree with that? Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
So keeping 2 quarterbacks, 1 on the practice squad. Running backs, I got Damian Williams, Darrell Williams, and I have Derwin Thompson and Carlos Hyde being cut after the 4th preseason game. Y'all good with that?
Good.
3 running backs. Fullback, I have Sherman, and they will put Lovett on IR, who is the backup fullback that they said was showing a lot of promise before he got hurt. I believe the first preseason game. Wide receiver, I have Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Mecole Hardman. This is where I struggled a little bit after those first 3. Demarcus Robinson. I think Demarcus Robinson only makes this team is because he has rapport with Mahomes and he has a lot of experience, but he has shown nothing to be on this team.
Yeah, Robinson's on the team.
Yeah.
He's on the team. No doubt. He's on the team, but he has shown nothing.
And they've been together since their rookie seasons.
Yeah. So
least they had that to hold
he's on the team. He's our fourth wide receiver. They brought in Dat. They're going to keep him. You seen him make a play right off the bat in special teams. So he's going to be our special teams gadget guy. Only, you know, whenever he's in the game, you know, you got to watch out for him.
Till he gets hurt again.
Until he
knock on the wood.
Yeah. And then I have them keeping Pringle. And the only reason why is because of his upside.
I like it.
Cody Thompson was looking really good. Marcus Kemp probably would have made the team if if he was able to stay healthy. But yeah, I have 6, and Cody Thompson, if we can squeeze him on the practice squad, I believe he'll be on the practice squad. And I think Geeter, is that how you say his name?
Derek Dieter.
Derek Dieter. I'm sorry, Dieter. I think that he's going to be put on IR as well since he's hurt. Okay, offensive lineman, I have Eric Fisher, Cam Irving, Wiley, their rookie guard center, Allegrity. Is that how you say his name? Anybody knows?
I don't know.
I think he's from Syracuse. I got Reeder. I have the Canadian Doctor. LDT. I have Schwartz. And I have Jeff Allen since they just signed him. I think he has the experience. I think he knows the offense. And he just, you know, you can plug him in and he's going to play solid anywhere he's at. Not great, just good.
Yeah, veteran.
Yeah, good veteran backup. And then I have them keeping McKenzie as well. And I think they're keeping him just because they said that he is really actually looking like an NFL lineman. You know, he switched from D tackle last year coming out of college to offensive lineman. He's been working with some of the greats like Will Shields as well. So I think he's going to show a lot of promise, but I think he's about another year away from actually getting some playing time. Everybody good with that?
Sounds good.
9 offensive linemen. A lot of linemen, but you know, linemen can really go down anytime.
Drop like flies.
Yeah, drop like flies, exactly. All right, tight end, I have Kelsey, which is a no-brainer. And I have them keeping Blake Bell.
Okay.
And them putting Yelder on IR since he's kind of banged up as well.
Good with that.
So 2 tight ends. All right, defensive line, I have Okafor, Speaks, who's also banged up right now, Agba, Chris Jones, Colin Saunders, Derek Noddy, Frank Clark, Passanio, and I want to debate this last defensive lineman. Who else do you think showed promise? You got Xavier Williams, you got Justin Hamilton, Ivy, I believe is his name. They have a lot of other defensive linemen that I think will make the team. I just don't know. I really couldn't pick them out as I was watching some of the tape. Anybody have any input on that? Or I know Williams was on the team last year.
Yeah.
Justin Hamilton was on the team last year.
Williams for sure. I mean, we know his name. We've seen him on the field.
Yeah.
The experience in general helps.
Yeah, Williams was actually in the first drive as well in the rotation. So I think I got him down as our 9th lineman, defensive lineman. So we'll go with that.
I agree. I mean, not a standout, but I mean, definitely helps to have the
body.
bodies.
Yeah, body, and he's been here, and he's actually from here as well.
Shout out.
Linebackers, I got Hitchens, Lee, Ragland, Neiman, Damian Wilson, Dorian O'Daniel, and then Atachu. 7 linebackers.
I like that. Lee showed a lot of promise. He looked good on
Lee
on
looks
tape.
good, even though he needed a breather early. He was tapping his helmet.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, get this man out of here. He tired.
Wilson making plays too. I like them young guys coming in.
Yeah, Neiman's looking good, tackling everywhere. Hitchens actually looks all right. So, yeah, I actually kind of like their linebackers. And Ragland, you know, he's a banger, so he likes to get in there and hit. So I like him. Maybe not in coverage, but
Yeah, he's more of a run stopper.
yeah.
Hopefully to see more out of O'Daniel too. They talked him up a lot, and I like
they
his,
topped him up a lot last year for sure.
I like his speed, and I think he's better suited for 4-3. Hopefully to see some more promise out of him coming out into the season.
Yeah, as long as he stay healthy for sure. All right, this is where we're probably going to have a lot of debate. defensive back, cornerback. I got Fuller. I have Claiborne, who is going to be suspended the first 4 games. I have Ward. I have Breland, who we said that looks fantastic, given fantastic for the Chiefs at least. I have Miller. And then I have them putting Fenton, their draft pick, on the practice squad. And then,
In that order.
as far as depth chart, no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
And then I have them actually picking up a free agent DB.
I don't think that's out of the works.
I think they're going to try to go out and get a veteran. It's not going to be like a Ward signing from last year. I think they're actually going to get a veteran from someone.
Like you said, Claiborne out the first quarter of the season, so they kind of will need a body in general.
Yeah.
I think it'd be nice to get a veteran in, just somebody that knows the league, somebody that can pick up the system,
Right.
make some tackles, not
All
get
right.
burned every play.
I'm going to speed through this really quick. All right, safeties, I have Matthew, I have Sorensen, Thornhill, Lucas, and Watts. I have them keeping 5. And then special teams, I have them getting butt kicker, Colquitt, and then Winchester as our long snapper, keeping 3. And that rounds up our 53-man roster. Any rebuttals?
No, I mean everything sounds good to me. Nothing you said really jumped off to me. So yeah, I mean it sounds good.
You like Hardman returning kicks, kickoff?
See that was my issue because Tremont Smith has still been taking the kickoffs. That was my issue with this roster. Again, it's really hard to put together a roster. But just kind of looking at it and looking at the dynamics of you got to keep O linemen, you got to keep D linemen because they drop like flies. Got to keep a lot of DBs. I don't know where he fits because he's just a one-trick pony.
True. I definitely like Hardman. At least he can play multiple positions.
And I also think Colquitt probably would have got cut this year if it wasn't Super Bowl or bust. I think he's kind of getting long in the tooth and a little expensive for our taste. But, hey, we have the cap room, and I think, again, it's Super Bowl or bust, and, field position is really, really important. So,
Staple on the team, too. I mean, I think
yeah, he's definitely a leader.
you got a leg to stand on with that, especially in the locker room.
Yeah.
Roster looks good. Sounds good.
Cool.
Cool, got that. Our take on what that final 53-man roster will be. And you're listening to KC Sports Bros. Continue to check us out on YouTube. Push that subscribe button, and then eventually look for us on other platforms as we continue to run down not just Kansas City sports, but all sports and what's going on in the world of sports. Andrew Luck retires. Unexpected.
Didn't see it coming. Not at all.
I'm just before we get into the conversation, I'm gonna just run through a couple of things real quick on Andrew Luck because we were all shocked. He played 7 seasons in the NFL. Went to Stanford. He was an All-American twice. Won Maxwell Award and Walter Camp Award. Was runner-up for the Heisman Trophy in 2010. Lost to Cam Newton. 2011, lost to Robert Griffin III. Excuse me. Coming out of Stanford, one of the draft analysts called him the best prospect he had ever scouted. And another article even wrote that he was in line with LeBron and Bryce Harper as one of the most hyped amateurs in sports.
Whoa.
At that time, not wrong.
And so in the NFL, 4-time Pro Bowler, even won Comeback Player of the Year a few seasons ago. So here's some more of his stats while playing in the NFL, and then we'll get the take on from the rest of the guys. Most passing yards in a single game by a rookie quarterback. Most passing yards by a rookie in a single season. Most game-winning drives by a rookie quarterback. Most fourth quarter comebacks by a rookie quarterback. Tied for most fourth quarter comebacks by a quarterback. Most passing yards for a quarterback through his first 2 seasons. Most passing yards for a quarterback through his first 3 seasons. Most passing yards for a quarterback through his first 5 postseason games. Most consecutive 350-yard passing games on the road. First quarterback to throw for 350 yards in 5 consecutive road games. First quarterback to throw for 370 yards or more, 4 touchdowns, and have a completion percentage of 70 or higher in consecutive games. Third player to throw for 3,000 yards in first 9 games to go along with Peyton Manning and Drew Brees, and holds multiple Colts franchise records. If this kind of stat line does not shock you about his retirement, I don't know what else will. I know he's had his share of injuries, but rookie season alone, he was living up to the hype. And then even, I believe, went 11-5 his rookie year.
Made the playoffs.
And then they had a couple down years. Then he missed a year because he was hurt. And then that's when he won Comeback Player of the Year, when he took them back to the playoffs. And so then yesterday, announcements come through that he decided to retire. CJ Mayo, what's going on?
I listened to his speech. Well, I guess post-game speech. He did talk after the preseason game. Again, I was shocked, but he's saying he's in a lot of pain still, and I think he's just getting tired of the injury, pain, rehab, try to get back on the field process. He says he's been going through that process for a while now, which I understand. That's a lot to deal with. I mean, shoulder injury, use it. That's his best weapon is his shoulder, throwing the football. Then which kind of spiraled into some injuries, internal injuries as well, which, I mean, you would definitely want, I mean, fans and the team and themselves, they want you on the field, but your health is the most important thing. Obviously, if you don't have your health, you can't get on the field. I mean, like you said, definitely living up to the hype. Got paid a lot of money.
A lot of money.
I don't think he makes the decision if he was just sticking around for the money. So I think it was heartfelt. Great stats, great player. I mean, he made the playoffs first 3 seasons. He was in the league, a couple of AFC South titles, AFC Championship appearance in 2014. And I think too, the team realized it was a legitimate decision because they didn't attempt to take back the money that he owes them, because technically he owes them about $24.8 million, but the team opted not to pursue that. So
wow, got to quit and take his money home.
That's crazy right there, because again, we're not a political podcast, but if Andrew Luck was Cam Newton,
hell yeah, he would have to get that money back.
that money would have been coming back.
I agree.
I mean, this man got booed off the field, and I don't blame the fans not a damn bit. I would have booed his ass too. I mean, this man was supposed to be, I got a lot of thoughts on this, I'm sorry. This man was supposed to be the greatest quarterback since Joe Montana, Dan Marino, whoever you want to call him. They let go of Peyton Manning because they thought this man was going to be their quarterback of the next 15 years. And we all know Peyton Manning went on to win the Super Bowl with the Broncos after Indianapolis moved on with him. But they put the franchise in this man's hands, thinking he was going to be the
Next Peyton Manning.
Yeah, the next Peyton Manning. And injuries derailed his whole career. I got here. He missed a total of 86 games. That's a lot. That's a lot of damn games. The whole 2017 season he missed. Like you said, came back and won the Comeback Player of the Year 2018. But I mean, if I'm a Colts fan, I'm pissed. Like, where do we go from here? And now I know they chopping. I know Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett is next in line.
Give me a break. They're doing
Tua.
They're doing deals right now where they're talking about bringing in possibly. They got Eli Manning. They were discussing. They want a veteran
For trade, yeah.
I saw that.
Teddy Bridgewater.
garbage. Teddy Bridgewater, which
like-
actually wouldn't be a bad
I
pickup.
like Teddy.
They're talking about Case Keenum possibly coming. I've seen enough of Case. He's garbage.
Tyrod.
Teddy Bridgewater would be my number one option. That's who I would be trying to pursue if I was the Colts right now. But yeah, as far as Andrew Luck, it was definitely shocking when the news broke. I can understand. I think after a while, your initial reaction is to be pissed. After a while, those Colts fans will calm down and appreciate the few years they did get out of Andrew Luck. They'll appreciate him. But right now, it's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, they was taking jerseys off in the middle of the game. He was a baller, though. I think eventually they do get back to the appreciation because he put up a lot of numbers, won a lot of games, got them to the playoffs, deep into the playoffs. But yeah, it's tough right now.
And as a man, I mean, as far as Andrew Luck, football's a game where if your heart and mind ain't in it, then you definitely shouldn't be playing. I mean, if you're not feeling it, if you feel like you can't go and you mentally have checked out, then yeah, you need to go ahead and retire because you'll be out there to the detriment of your team. And so yeah, I think he did the right thing for himself.
Look, I mean, I don't have no type of like hot take or anything about this. Like, we all know Andrew Luck is a very, very intelligent man. It is really hard to actually get up and play a game and be healthy every single game. So if he's not Andrew Luck, if I can't be Andrew Luck, I don't want to go out there.
Yeah,
I agree.
So, and again, he's like Chris said, like he's going through the same process over and over and over again, and he's still not feeling like Andrew Luck. So I don't blame him. Obviously, if this was Mahomes who did the same thing, I'll be pissed too as a fan.
For sure.
I'll be
But
finding out where he live.
once the dust settles, you kind of understand, where he's coming from, and
Dead serious. Dead serious. But 29 years old, still got a long life ahead of him. So whatever he wants to accomplish from now on, I wish the best for him.
I think it's an interesting situation because, granted, as a franchise, as an organization, as fans, because of what you have seen, you want him to play. But what happens if he does play and he gets hurt and cannot recover? And so he's looking out, for his future. I know as a fan, you don't really want to see that because you want to keep winning games. And as we've all said, clearly it ain't had nothing to do with the money.
Nah.
He
got to keep a check. For 20.
yeah, that's nuts, man. Again, like I was saying, man, Andrew Luck is a very, very intelligent man. Stanford education, graduated top of his class, all the good stuff. Like that, whatever he's doing, I'm with it. Like he's not doing this just to do it. Like he's hurting, and he's thinking about his future, and he's smart. This wasn't out of the blue. Hey, I'm retiring. Like he was thinking about this. He was going back and forth with it. He weighed his options, and he decided, hey, you know what? Instead of playing another 2 or 3 years with my shoulder, hitting the ground every single game, and 10 years from now, I can't even play with my kids.
Yeah.
I'm done. So I don't blame him.
Say he contemplated it the last time he got hurt when he had missed that whole season.
But can you just, not to play this role, but can you imagine the look on Jim Irsay's face when Andrew Luck came to him and said he was thinking about retirement?
I'm sure he took 3 or 4 shots right in front of Andrew Luck.
You probably popped a couple pills and
Popped
before
some
he talked
pills.
to him. But
And said, excuse me, what'd you say?
probably asked Luck, hey, you need a couple? Or
Let's think this through here.
Let the pill settle in first. But I'm sure he had to be pissed. He was like, you could have, if you was thinking about retirement, you could have told me back around draft time. I could have tried to draft a quarterback, made some maneuvers. But you tell me 2 weeks before the season starts, and now I'm settling for guys like Eli Manning or Case
But do
Keenum?
you think that it was the injuries that caused him to make that announcement versus knowing back during the draft. And it was like during that time actually had intentions on trying to
I think
play.
that sent him over the edge. I think that actually pushed him off the cliff right there whenever he got hurt again this preseason.
Yeah, because did he play at all this preseason?
No, very inactive.
I know because I know
Training
he had
camp,
been hurt.
He got hurt in training camp.
Yeah, so it's like
lower leg injury.
when you've already, like we said, missed an entire season, missed multiple games in other seasons, and then you go through that, get hurt, rehab, try to play, get hurt, rehab, try to play. That process do get old. And he did say, like, mentally he was just worn down. And as skillful as you are, if you are not there mentally, more injuries are coming because you're not in the right mind frame to do the job at hand.
And things just opened up for Deshaun Watson. I'm sure he wasn't cheering that Andrew Luck retired because
I think
Andrew,
your mic is messed up. It sounded like you was trying to say Marcus Mariota. Go ahead.
You know damn well the man just went 0 for 3 with no yards in the preseason game.
or Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill going to end up starting more games this season than Mariota will. Deshaun Watson, it's between the Texans and the Jags. I feel like in that division.
Yerp.
But I'm leaning more towards the Texans. This is Deshaun Watson's time. He's coming. This is his division for the next 10 years.
Okay, so Andrew Luck retires. Was supposed to be one of the greats. Rookie season started off that way, and then had a couple good years, and then injuries began to play a part in his career. Now we've seen what he was projected to do, what he could have done, which shifts us now into preparing for this 100th NFL season. And now we have those who have already done the work and have been selected by some as the greatest of all time. And so we going to try and debate. We put our team together.
Yes, sir.
Quarterback, running back, wide receiver on offense, D-line, linebacker, and defensive back on defense. And we all put our greatest team together. And we're going to start off with quarterbacks. Greatest NFL quarterback of all time. Dre.
To me, it's not even damn close. I wanted to say another word, but that's the best I can do right now. Peyton Manning is the greatest quarterback to ever walk the face of this earth. Whoa. Let me read off a couple stats.
Please read the stats.
Over 71,000 passing yards. All right. And the best season, he threw for 55 touchdowns, over 5,400 yards, most in NFL history in the season, 539 passing touchdowns, 2-time Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl MVP once, 7-time first-team All-Pro, 5-time regular season MVP, 2-time offensive player, led the league in touchdown passes 4 times, led the league in total yards 3 times. Peyton Manning is the greatest quarterback to ever put on a pair of cleats.
Okay.
Big Iron. Who's your quarterback?
So
who's leading your squad?
He said Peyton Manning. So basically he's telling me that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the best NBA player of all time. Is that what you're telling me?
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm just giving you the stats.
Best quarterback of all time, the GOAT, still playing, Tom Brady.
Okay.
I agree.
Go ahead.
Rings. Rings. Stats.
So we're just basing it off of rings?
Playing with nobody. The best receiver you ever had was Randy Moss. Yes, Randy Moss, one of the best wide receivers ever to play the game. But how many seasons did you play with him?
So those first 3 championships that Tom Brady run, was he a key part of those? Or was that more the defense? I mean, he was on the team, don't get me wrong, but the defense was the major part of those first, not Tom Brady. Tom Brady wasn't Tom Brady then on those first 3 championships.
Okay, so Peyton Manning's last Super Bowl.
It was Willie McGinnis.
Okay.
Who else?
Ty Law.
All those. Richard
Rodney
Seymour,
Harrison.
Teddy Bruschi.
Rodney Harrison.
The Brewskis. I don't know. I can't go.
The great Vrabel.
Yeah.
Coach of the Tennessee Titans.
Is it Richard Seymour?
Yeah,
Seymour?
Richard Seymour.
Look, Peyton Manning is my honorable mention. And then Aaron Rodgers, I think, is the best quarterback I've ever seen as far as like makeup, throwing mechanics.
Go ahead, Chris.
CJ,
I do.
who's leading your greatest squad of all time?
I'm going with Big Earn. Tom Brady is mine too.
Both of y'all crazy.
6 Super Bowl rings.
6 Super Bowl rings, nine Super Bowl appearances. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead, CJ.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
9 Super Bowl appearances. 6 of those Super Bowls he won with his team.
Thank you.
70 plus thousand yards. It's still playing too. He's not even finished, so he's the only one on my list that is still a current player.
But is Tom Brady more talented than Peyton Manning? As far as just every
If we're going off talent, Aaron Rodgers is number one.
Talent.
but
No.
I'm asking Tom Brady. Is he more talented? Is he a more talented player than Peyton Manning was in his prime? Prime against prime.
I say no, but 500
No,
plus
but-
touchdowns,
I mean, dude, like
under 200 interceptions, career 97.6 QBR.
I was going back and forth between Peyton Manning and Tom Brady.
That's a tough decision.
You have to base it off rings, like I said, like I told you before. Like it's like Michael Jordan, LeBron debate. Like Michael Jordan's the best.
That's not even close though.
Yeah,
I mean, let's not go there.
Yeah.
I mean,
But that's not
We're
even.
not
you
That's not
stop
even
it at-
close.
we're not gonna go there.
That's
stop it at
not even
talent,
close.
or do you stop
crazy.
it at championships?
You're crazy.
Are we going
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
there has to be a middle ground there, because if you go off championships, you go Jordan or Brady. If you go talent, you go on LeBron or Manning,
Yeah, if you want to,
maybe Rodgers. I
you want to
mean,
see somebody cry, you can go with LeBron
Mahomes.
But
Oh my God!
yeah, I'm going Peyton Manning.
Okay.
Leading my squad, Joe Cool, Joe Montana.
okay, I thought you was going naming.
No,
I thought you were about to throw out Flacco for a minute. I was about to slap the hell out of him.
Otto Graham.
4 Super Bowl rings,
Yes, sir.
3-time Super Bowl MVP,
Yeah.
8 Pro Bowls, 2-time NFL MVP, Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year in 1990. Best passer rating in the Super Bowl in NFL history. Passer rating overall is 127.8. Of course, Hall of Fame. And granted, his passing yards and touchdowns are not close to some of these others. He only threw for a little over
It was a different game then.
yeah,
for
threw
sure.
over a little over 40,000 yards,
Never lost the Super Bowl.
273 passing touchdowns,
Never
and
lost.
that is my key point. 4-0 in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Until Tom got his 5th, Joe was my all-time too. So you're not far off there.
Wow.
So 2 of the squads are led by the same quarterback, with Tom Brady, and then we got Peyton Manning and Joe Montana. Who is Peyton Manning handing the ball off to when they get rough?
Barry Sanders.
Oh my God!
Barry.
I had a feeling this
How
was
can you
coming.
do? Oh my God, the Barry
I said,
Sanders.
oh my
Go
God,
ahead,
but
go
I
ahead.
felt
Go
this
ahead.
coming.
Go
Oh
ahead.
my God. Okay, let me run through some of this.
Run through them.
10-time Pro Bowler, MVP, 6-time All-Pro, 2-time Offensive Player of the Year, led the league in rushing 4 times, was the Rookie of the Year, named to the 90s All-Decade Team. Nobody did more with less than Barry Sanders. His offensive line was trash for
Trash.
years and still was making people miss, could shake you in a phone booth. The man has skills to this day that I haven't seen duplicated by any other running back. His feet were second to none. I know I've heard crazy Skip Bayless say Kyler Murray has Barry Sanders' feet. The man lost his mind. Nobody has ever been Barry Sanders, greatest running back of all time.
Big Iron. Who's in the backfield?
LaDainian Tomlinson.
Now there's an oh my God.
Yeah, that's another.
God!
Again,
I want to hear this. What's the stats? What's the stats? What's the stats?
I mean, just looking at it, like he can get you a touchdown by catching the ball. He can get you the touchdown by rushing the ball. He can get you a touchdown by throwing. LaDainian Tomlinson,
Does have a few passing touchdowns. Go ahead.
13,684 rushing yards, 145 rushing touchdowns, 624 receptions, 4,772 receiving yards, 17 receiving touchdowns. I don't think y'all heard me. 145 rushing touchdowns. LT, total package.
All right, CJ, who's in your backfield?
I'm going a little older. Going Emmitt Smith.
Ding, 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 ding. Great pick.
Overrated.
Oh my God. Go ahead. List the stats.
Over 18,000 rushing yards. Let's see. 18,355 to be exact. 164 rushing touchdowns.
Both of those are NFL records.
Yeah. And got that
Because he played 50 years. Go ahead.
14. The rushing title, or the leading rusher all time, he got that before he retired. Yards per carry, 4.2 yards. Not as high as LT, but 3,224 receiving yards. In the 90s football.
Was running backs were running
A
the
little
ball.
bit different than more. He's definitely a workhorse, running the ball, not catching out of the backfield. But 3 Super Bowls, never lost one there. I mean, he didn't finish as strong as he started in Arizona, but still, very healthy career, solid stats. Yeah, he's my number 1 running back.
No argument there. I was actually got Emmitt Smith right here, right next to LT.
In my backfield is also Emmitt Smith. Talked about the 3 Super Bowl championships, never lost, 8-time Pro Bowl, Super Bowl MVP,
There you go.
Super Bowl 28, NFL MVP in 93, Offensive Rookie of the Year, also made the 90s decade team. Yeah, that 18,000 rushing yards, I mean, you don't see that kind of longevity in running backs no more.
No.
The man was washed up like his last 3 years of his career. What was he with, the Cardinals?
Cardinals for the last 2, but he, like I said, he got that.
He didn't want to let it go. That's why he was trying to get that record.
And he got it.
And he got it. But I mean, you can't really. The stats speak for itself. I mean,
Hell no, it don't speak for it. Stats can be deceiving. You just
Can they?
brought up Kareem a while ago because of stats. When I went to Peyton Manning, you said, so does that make Kareem the best basketball player because of stats?
okay.
So now in this argument, stats,
You telling me 18,000 yards rushing?
I'm just saying you can't have it both ways.
I'm just saying,
And
is that not better?
Just because a person has better, okay, Robert Ory got 6 rings. Does that mean he's one of the greatest?
I didn't say
basketball players?
rings. Stats.
That's part of stats.
Is it?
True.
Like,
Robert Ory's not the greatest basketball player ever, but he was on some great teams and he made some big shots.
I mean, he did
I'm
contribute.
just saying, if
definitely contributed.
Barry Sanders or even LaDainian, because don't get me wrong, LaDainian's a beast. If they had that line that Emmitt Smith was running behind in the 90s, I think they would have did way more damage than what Emmitt Smith did. Way more. They were all, both of them are more talented running backs than Emmitt Smith.
Yeah.
If we're talking about talent,
I mean,
both of them are way more athletic.
Did Barry win Rookie of the Year?
Yes.
Okay. Did LaDainian?
I don't know.
Let's check that.
I only research the best running backs. I don't research second place.
Well then.
nice. His rookie year would have been 2001. While we stat check that, what about wide receivers, guys? Wide receivers.
All right, Dre, who was Peyton Manning throwing to?
Randy the Freak Moss. Randy Moss.
Interesting.
6-time Pro Bowler, four-time first team All Pro, another Rookie of the Year, 5-time receiving touchdown leader, 156 touchdowns in his career, over 15,000 yards, named to the 2000s All-Decade team, had that one of the best seasons ever with Tom Brady. Randy Moss was just an absolute freak. Changed the game. Chris Carter, who's one of the best wide receivers to ever play the game, Hall of Famer, took a back seat when Randy Moss came on that team. That's how good Randy Moss is. And we know how bad Chris Carter was. Took a back seat when Randy Moss got on that team. I'm going Randy Moss. I like Jerry Rice, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't athletically and talent-wise, I don't think he was what Randy Moss was. I'm going Randy Moss.
Big Iron.
Strong
Who's
pick.
Tom throwing the ball to?
Jerry Rice. Jerry
There you
Rice.
There you go.
Yeah, he's not the freak Randy Moss. I was going back and forth between Randy Moss and Jerry Rice, but Jerry Rice, longevity, put up stats in pretty much every single decade that he played in. Super Bowls, total package. Best route runner ever.
Coming in right behind you with that. I picked Jerry. Like you said, longevity, Super Bowls. Didn't have one quarterback his whole career, so he caught him from a few different, definitely capable quarterbacks, but the talent alone, yeah. Randy is a strong pick, but I think Jerry Rice is the greatest receiver I've ever seen in my life. So,
and I have Joe throwing to Jerry.
It's a deadly combo.
Yeah, 3-time Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl MVP, NFL MVP, 13-time Pro Bowler, led the league in yards 6 times, led the league in receptions twice, led the league in receiving touchdowns 6 times, made the 80s All-Decade team and the 90s All-Decade team, 197 receiving touchdowns, almost 23,000 receiving yards. Jerry Rice was a beast. Maybe not a freak like Randy, but he was a beast. And I agree with Ernie, one of the best route runners ever.
197 touchdowns receiving.
That's nuts.
It's definitely
crazy.
It's definitely hard to argue that. I'm not, but
Almost 23,000 receiving yards.
I'm just not going chalk like the rest of y'all bums at this table. I'm picking talent, okay, over stats. I'm going talent.
I don't knock you for your picks, but some of it, yeah, eye test is everybody's eyes.
Randy didn't pass your eye test.
I'm not saying he don't pass the eye test, but I don't think he's
Might not
beating
pass the
Jerry
smell
for me.
test, but he passed the eye test.
Yeah,
All right, so offenses are loaded. They're going to get you points. But in order to win games, you can't let the other team score. So who's rushing your quarterback to keep to get the offense off the field so your offense can get back on the field dry?
I'm going Reggie White.
Damn right. You damn right.
Reggie White.
Practice what you preach.
This man was he's cousin
Beast.
to Barry White. You can fact check that. It's not true, but go ahead and fact check it.
hey.
Reggie
Shout out.
White was a beast. Okay. Super Bowl champ, with the Packers.
Yep.
13-time Pro Bowler. 10-time first team. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. Led the league in sacks twice. He's on 2 teams Hall of Fames. Let that sink in, okay?
That's crazy.
With the Eagles and the Packers, he's in both of their team Hall of Fames. Has his jersey retired for both teams. Okay, I don't even know if any other player has done that. Somebody can check it. I don't care. But Reggie White did it. That's all I'm saying. All decade team in the 80s and the 90s. Okay, 198 career sacks,
Nuts.
Yeah,
33 forced fumbles, 3 interceptions, and 2 touchdowns. Offensive linemen were having nightmares when they knew they had to play Reggie White the next day. This man was feared. I'm going Reggie White.
Big Iron.
A lot of people consider this guy a linebacker, but his sacks is what makes him a defensive lineman. Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Break-a-Leg Taylor.
Defensive lineman. That's interesting.
R.I.P. Joe Theismann.
leg.
Stats-wise, this man 132 and a half sacks, 9 interceptions, 1,089 tackles. Played from 1981 to 1993, all with the New York Giants.
Super Bowl.
So are we classifying him as a D lineman because of the sacks?
He played with his
Changed the
hand
He changed the game.
in the dirt more than anything.
I could see how you could go D lineman on that.
I'm not mad at that. I'm going Reggie White for mine. Again, like Dre, man was tearing it up with the Eagles before he got to a good team to get him all the way to the promised land. Yeah, I mean, now this is one too because he doesn't lead the league all time in sacks. Bruce Smith does with 200, but Reggie is better than Bruce Smith. So
yes.
I'm going. I've seen that with my eyes. I mean, he had a few interceptions, 33 career forced fumbles too, just to give that. I mean, just a physically dominant presence that you're really not stopping as long as he's on the field on that side of the ball. So yeah, I'm going Reggie.
I went Reggie White, Minister of Defense.
There you go.
Had over 1,100 tackles.
Jeez.
It's crazy.
Defensive linemen. We're still on.
Yeah.
Got to the ball.
Okay. We talked about the Super Bowl championship, all the Pro Bowls. If we could look that up on Reggie White, I think he played in another league before '86, if I'm not mistaken. And so,
the USFL.
yeah, okay. And so, just think about if he had that year in the NFL, how much more
Did not know
of
that.
his stats would have been a little higher. Led the NFL in sacks twice. Defensive Player of the Year for the NFC 3 times and twice for the league. Man was a beast.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't know that about the USFL.
Definitely somebody you didn't want to be lined up against as an offensive lineman. So, Dre, who's in that second level of defense as your linebacker? Who's the greatest linebacker of all time?
Greatest linebacker of all time.
Come on, give it to me.
Not only will he preach to you, but if you piss him off, he'll murder you too. I'm going Ray Lewis.
Make sure we edit that out.
Allegedly.
No, keep that in there.
Allegedly.
Ray Lewis
Allegedly.
is the greatest. It's the greatest. I couldn't even get it out, man. He is the greatest linebacker of all time. Just don't piss him off. 2-time Super Bowl champ. Super Bowl MVP, 13-time Pro Bowler, first team 7 times, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, made the 2000s All-Decade Team, 2,061 career tackles, 31 interceptions, 17 forced fumbles, and I believe his greatest achievement is he's on the upcoming season of Dancing with the Stars. We know how football players have done on there. I'm going Ray Lewis.
Good to know.
Yeah, it's gonna be entertaining for sure. Greatest linebacker of all time, Ray Lewis.
See how that.
Who's on your second level, Aaron?
I got nothing to add with that, especially the alleged murder. But I'm going to saying Ray Lewis. We were actually able to see him, so we can actually speak about the greatness of Ray Lewis, what he did for his team. It's uplifting speeches. Hell, he made me want to put on some pads for the Ravens as a Chiefs fan and go hit somebody. So Ray Lewis is the man.
Yeah,
CJ.
definitely a strong pick. I'm going Lawrence Taylor since we did linebacker. I mean,
Okay.
and you ran through his stats earlier, but yeah, definitely 132 and a half sacks, 9 interceptions. Did get a Super Bowl win with the Giants. Whole career with the Giants, one team. I mean, and honestly, he changed the game as far as sacks go statistically, because his rookie year they didn't even statistically count sacks. So
Correct. And that's why I had him at 142.
yeah, he lost a year.
They went back and I guess looked at that and determined how many sacks he had that rookie year when they didn't even.
Ridiculous.
Oh wow.
He changed the game. So yeah, greatest linebacker, Lawrence Taylor. I'm going LT.
I went for my second line and linebacker, also LT. We talked about the championships, Pro Bowl, won MVP as a defensive player. Just don't happen too often.
Yeah,
Very hard to do.
Won Defensive Rookie of the Year. Won Football Digest NFL Linebacker of the Year 5 times.
How many years was he on drugs? That's what I want to know. We're not counting drug addict into this, so that don't play a role.
Hey, he needed something to get on the
well,
field.
then Michael Irvin's going
Yeah.
that receiver position.
One of his biggest stat lines was in one of the greatest football movies of all time,
Oh yeah.
Any Given Sunday.
Oh yeah.
The Shark.
The Shark. Great movie.
Greatest football movies of all time.
Jamie Foxx. Yes.
Willie
there-
Beeman.
Willie
Is there
Beeman.
one better than Any Given Sunday? Name me a football movie
Don't
better.
say Remember the Titans.
Please.
Remember the Titans?
Remember, the Titans is not better than Any Given Sunday?
No. Not even
In what
close.
regard?
See, y'all been on Prospect too long. Y'all just doing hood movies.
You gonna tell me Any Given Sunday is not a classic?
I didn't say that.
Football?
A hood classic, but remember the
Oh
Titans?
my god!
name your
let me
best.
ask this.
I'll watch Little Giants.
That's a
take-
damn shame. That is a damn shame.
I'm rolling.
That's a damn shame.
Come on, Trey.
You gonna take the ice box over the shark?
The icebox was a beast. Okay, not only could she cheerlead, but she'll knock your ass out the game if she get mad.
Talk about it.
So you gonna
talk
tell
about
me
it.
that any given
I want
Sunday
to pump you up. Come on, Little Giants. John Madden hopping off the bus. Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith,
Bruce Smith.
Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, they felt bad for him. They put him in the movie. But Little Giants.
So you gonna tell me Remember the Titans wouldn't be as good as it was if it wasn't for Denzel? That's what made that movie.
I think the
Any Given Sunday did not have Al Pacino was probably the biggest star in Any Given Sunday. Great movie.
Ain't no way in hell Any Given Sunday is better than Remember the Titans.
Damn.
You're gonna remember the Titans.
Which the storyline in Remember the Titans that was during the segregation era.
Any Given Sunday didn't have a storyline
What was the storyline?
on how
Him and LL Cool J beefing? Like what was the
on how
storyline?
realistic they were to the NFL.
True story.
That's your
Going
storyline.
behind the scenes.
That's your storyline. A reality. It was like a reality show. That's your storyline.
Was it not?
Come on, bro. Come on. Segregation they dealt with and Remember the Titans. Bringing black and white together. Team. Unifying as a team.
You gonna tell me Any Given Sunday didn't unify as a team?
Man, get the hell out.
Huh?
You reaching now. You're reaching. Let's move on. You reaching.
One
You
of the great-
reaching. Little Giants I will take over.
Be damn.
Little Giants is a classic.
Agreed.
It's a classic.
It's good. It ain't Any Given
What was
Sunday.
old boy named Spike?
Yes.
Was that his name?
He
Doing,
wa-
doing pull-ups on his dad's arm?
He wasn't a shark.
Please.
He was not steaming.
Dog.
The shark,
Billy
the
Beeman.
shark wasn't Icebox.
Ah,
What was LL Cool J's name?
Look that up for me.
But yeah, he was a monster too.
It was
Well,
reported.
let's say his last name was Washington.
On and off the field.
Number 33.
Man, please. Little Giants.
They had a squad. Tell me they didn't have a squad.
Little Giants.
Tell me.
Hey, T.O. was on that team, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Catching passes from steaming Willie Beeman.
I'll take the longest yard over.
Ah,
Love
be
missing.
damn.
Now I'm gonna have to stop you there.
Look at the squad.
had to stop
Look at
you.
the squad Adam Sandler had out there. He had
Slinging it.
He had Terry Crews slinging McDonald's. he had Nelly running with no shoes at running back. Come on, man.
Julian Washington. That's
Julian
it, ain't
Washington.
it? That's it.
Please,
Okay.
please.
Next, he's gonna say Forrest Gump is the best
I'm
football
saying
player
that.
ever.
He was running.
Remember the Titans
running.
over Any Given Sunday.
You're really serious.
I'm dead serious.
And, Aaron, are you agreeing with this?
Absolutely.
Oh my God, man! I'm telling you, man.
I'm with you on the Remember the Titans.
Football wise,
That's not even
Any Given
close.
Sunday is extremely better.
Yep.
What do you
I'm not
mean?
saying Remember the Titans didn't have a good storyline, but football
Classic
wise,
movie too.
True
Yep.
story.
they wasn't playing football and Remember the Titans?
it's not like on Any Given Sunday.
Sunshine. Huh? You don't
Rev?
remember that?
Rev?
Rev?
Did anybody do a commercial on Remember the Titans? They ain't getting no deals. That's what I'm saying. Metrics.
Get out.
Come on, man. I'm trying to tell you. Who's your defensive back? See if you can do this better than you do movies.
This show's off the rails. I just. I'm sorry, man.
Who's your defensive
Any
back?
givens. Oh my God. Man. This guy. I mean, not only did he make a comeback late in his career, but now his hair has made a comeback. He was bald. Now, he got up with LeBron's doctor. I mean, he doing big things. That hairline that came back. As you see, he's singing more now on the show. I'm going Deion Sanders. One of the greatest, two of the greatest nicknames of all time. Neon Deion, and of course, Prime Time. Two-time Super Bowl champ. One with the Cowboys, one with the Niners. 8-time Pro Bowl, 8-time first team, defensive player of the year, 90s all decade team, and he was a lockdown corner. Anytime you had Deion on the field, you didn't even have to worry about that side of the field. He locked it down. I'm going Deion Sanders. Shout out to your hair, man.
Big Iron.
Are we going corners or D backs or what?
Anything in the secondary.
Okay. I'm going Troy Polamalu.
Get the oh my God.
Run them stats.
Let's hear it.
Run
Let's hear
them
it.
stats.
770 tackles, 12 sacks, 32 interceptions, forced 14 fumbles, and 3 touchdowns as a defender.
What position is he?
He is
Strong
a
safety.
strong safety.
Okay.
He's a strong safety.
Thank you.
One of the most instinctive players I've ever seen.
Agreed.
Ever.
He was good.
Agreed.
He was
Ever.
good.
He would
And he had
he
good
would
hair, too.
literally great hair.
Head and shoulders.
Head
Still
and
getting
shoulders.
checks.
Still getting checks. But yeah, he would literally jump the line before any of the linemen even moved. The ball would move, the lineman wouldn't move, and he's already in the backfield. Like, he's the most instinctive player on the defensive side I've ever seen.
He's not even the greatest strong safety of all time, but I won't even cut you off, Chris. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Chris. CJ, who you got?
I'm rolling prime. Deion Sanders, greatest DB of all time. On my list, 53 career interceptions. Like you said, 2 Super Bowls, 9 touchdowns on those returns. Also, granted, he did play free safety in college at Florida State, mostly corner in the NFL, but also kick and punt return. He had that part of his game too.
Baseball.
Also, did play baseball. 2-sport athlete, not the greatest 2-sport athlete, but that's another discussion for another day. But he had 6 punt return touchdowns and 3 kick return touchdowns. So add that to the list, Dre.
My secondary pick, Ronnie Lott.
Hell yeah, that's exactly what I looked up. Better than Troy Polamalu. Go ahead with the stats.
4-time Super Bowl champ,
Let's go.
10-time Pro Bowler,
Talk about it.
led the NFL in interceptions twice,
Preach, Rev.
and those were 5 years apart.
Wow. Okay.
Made the 80s and the 90s All-Decade team.
Yes, sir.
Almost 1,200 tackles, 63 interceptions, 5 defensive touchdowns, 63 interceptions is regular season, 9 postseason interceptions.
Let's go. How many Super Bowls you say you win? I didn't hear you right.
4.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Okay, so
Ronnie Lott.
So you guys are talking about my pick as Troy Polamalu, but how many times did Ronnie Lott guard anybody with 4.2 speed?
Is that his fault?
No.
How many times did Polamalu do that?
Randy Moss?
You telling me
Single
Randy
coverage.
Moss is of
Single
the
coverage.
world?
Chad
Basically, what
Johnson.
I'm saying is,
I'm just saying strong
it's-
safeties
it's a-
are more so
it's a
in your zone.
different. It's a different era.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying.
But you made it seem like it was one-on-one coverage or something.
No,
Like,
no. What I'm saying is a different era. Everybody is a lot faster in the game right now.
I'll
Or
give
when
you
Troy
that. I'll give you
Polamalu
that.
played, and I'm not discounting Ronnie Lott's freaking yeah.
Ronnie Lott.
Ronnie Lott is Ronnie Lott.
Not to mention him knocking
His
his block
stats
off,
speak
too.
for
Yes.
itself.
You talking about being scared to play somebody on Sunday?
You remember when we met Ronnie Lott
I do.
at the football camp? Not being biased, but yeah, the man Ronnie. I'm going Ronnie Lott.
Okay.
Light flex.
I don't have any.
Light flex.
Yeah, I just want to plug.
Humble brag. I got you.
I don't have anything else with it. I mean, Ronnie lost the man.
Sounds good. So let's get into these final takes. CJ, what's your final take?
Final take is expecting a big season out of the Chiefs going NFL. We got 2 weeks till the season starts. I'm ready. We got week 1 Jacksonville.
Yes, sir.
I think we're gonna put that Saxonville to shame. We're gonna denounce that. Pat's gonna have a he's gonna ball out that day. Looking for a good start for them. I think the preseason, kind of like last year, preseason they didn't show very well either, but came out in the regular season booming, clicking on all cylinders. That's what I'm looking for. That's my final take.
Big Iron.
My final take actually changed after yesterday. My final take is about Andrew Luck. Just going a little bit more about it really quick. I didn't like how they booed him. Just kind of put yourself in his shoes. He gave it his all. He's a very intelligent man. I think this is well thought out, and he thought about everything before he did it. So salute to Andrew Luck, and hopefully more people are making that decision before they ruin their lives for the rest of their lives. And yeah,
Dre. Final take.
It was a final take, but now it's final takes. I'll make these quick. Number one, the new sandwich at Popeyes, the Popeyes chicken sandwich. Okay, I had a sexual experience with the chicken sandwich. It was damn good. Read between the lines, you know where I'm going with that comment, but it was good. I still like the spicy chicken deluxe at Chick-fil-A, but the sauce on this new Popeyes chicken sandwich, when you mix it and eat that sandwich with those fries, yeah, you'll feel the same way I felt. Let me know how you felt. My second take is off this Any Given Sunday. I had to go in. I looked it up right quick. I got 4 football movies I will put before Any Given Sunday. Real quick. No, I'm not going Rudy. I never watched it. No. You know why. Number 1, Remember the Titans. Like I already said. Number 2, Little Giants, The Icebox. Number 3, The Blind Side.
I be damn.
The Blind Side.
Okay.
Michael Orr.
Okay.
That movie,
Another true story.
it's a tearjerker. It tugs at your heart.
Does that make it good?
Any,
Hell yeah,
better
makes
than
it
any
good.
given Sunday?
Hell yeah.
I'm not gonna debate your final take.
Go ahead.
And
Speak your piece.
and
Sandy Bullock.
One of,
Hey,
the,
we got sleepers.
one of the best football movies of all time. Water Boy. The Water Boy.
Oh my God.
Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher playing that foosball. One of the greatest movies. Vicky Valancourt. Okay, Lawrence Taylor giving a speech about drugs in that movie. Come on now. One of the greatest football movies of all time.
Wow.
The Fonz as a head coach. Come on.
Hey.
Waterboy is strong, but it's not better.
What's
than
wrong with your
any given
medulla oblongata? Come on.
Come on.
Sunday. It's a comedy.
Final take. I actually had 2. I'll run through them real quick. First final take. I've been pretty frustrated with the Melo saga because now LeBron's being blamed. I just don't understand how his name even comes up in any of this, and how that's his boy, and so he should be able to get him on the team. He's got so much clout in the league, he should be able to get him on the team. Can't blame this man for everything.
Queen James.
That's disrespectful. But I don't think,
On your team.
Still a queen.
Sorry.
I just don't feel like LeBron has anything to do with what others see about Melo, which is, to a bigger point, I feel like LeBron gets blamed for way too much in the league for somebody who is still a player.
You turning into a LeBron apologist right before our eyes. I never thought I'd see this day. Go ahead.
Second final take. Any Given Sunday. I don't understand how we don't see the
Maybe we
greatness.
need to do a topic next week. Of football.
Hey,
that
how
was
about this?
that was the second part
How
of
about
my
this?
final take. I
How
would
about
like
this?
to debate some sports movies.
How
next
about we
episode.
have our viewers comment below and let us know what your favorite movies are, and let us know, is Any Given Sunday
Better.
which it is, better
Waterboy?
than The Waterboy,
The Waterboy is a classic. Are you kidding me?
than Little Giants?
Bobby Boucher lined up.
Was a hell of a linebacker.
H2O.
Not only will he make sure you was hydrated, but the man will lay you out.
Tell him he'd stop Willie Beeman.
Knock your block
Out your
off.
damn
He
mind.
would have killed Willie Beeman.
Out your damn
He
mind.
would have killed Willie Beeman.
Comment below, what's your favorite sports movie, football movie?
Next episode, I would like to discuss sports movies. If y'all don't mind, if we could
Top
just,
five.
Go there.
if we could split
like
that into football and basketball.
Yeah, we
Okay,
could do
I
like
was
top 5 sports movies.
Sports, not just football.
The sports is all sports.
I like it.
I want to tell you right now, just so y'all can be prepared. 6 man's on my list. Thank y'all for joining in for episode 3 of KC Sports Bros. Check us out on YouTube.
The man was a ghost, and this come on,
Hood movies.
come on.
Check us out on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, local
Now
bounce
it all
channel.
now it all makes sense.
Like Mike is on mine. I don't know what y'all talking about.
I didn't know we was doing TV1 movies up in here.
Coming
I
up
didn't know
next
we were
on
doing
Bounce.
Disney movies. Like Mike?
Coming up next on Bounce.
Exactly. We doing centric movies in here.
Push
like-
that subscribe button. Check us out. Be ready for this back and forth on episode 4 on these sports movies.
And I'm coming in with Major League as well.
Oh, classic.
That's
Classic.
a classic.
That's strong.
That's a classic.
Willie- That's strong.
Willie Mays Hayes.
That is a classic.
my
Look at the scoreboard
Just
now.
a bit outside.
The man was nailing gloves to his wall. Okay, come on.
All right. Y'all stay tuned.
Wild thing.
Look forward to episode 4. Check us out. Push subscribe so y'all can stay up on the latest content of Sports KC Sports Bros.